So, Cold Fear came out in March of 2005, and everyone was too busy to play it because Resident Evil 4 came out 2 months earlier. But even if that game didn't, I don't think Cold Fear would be fondly remembered either way. In Cold Fear, you play as Tom Hansen, a member of the Coast Guard aboard the USCGC Ravenswood. When a CIA agent puts out an APB for help from anyone in the vicinity of the Russian boat, the Eastern Spirit, Hansen and his crew respond. Things quickly go awry for the crew of the Ravenswood, and Tom Hansen is thrust into a desperate fight for survival. The thing is, this is no ordinary ship, and Tom quickly learns he is not alone. Parasitic creatures known as the Exocell have taken over the ship, turning the crew into zombie-like creatures, creating a perfect storm for Tom to ride out, which he'll have to, because not only are the Exocell your enemies in Cold Fear, but the turbulent weather wants you just as dead, and can cause plenty of ways to bring about Tom's demise on the Eastern Spirit. Thrashing seas can cause Tom to slide across the deck of the boat when not holding onto a railing, and if his stamina runs out, can easily be thrown overboard. Objects swinging from the high winds can also hit and injure our protagonist as well. And while there's some reprieve from this later on in the game, as the setting changes to an oil rig, other hazards such as fires and trip mines can ruin Tom's day much easier. This all sounds great, but unfortunately the game falls flat in its execution. The controls are incredibly cumbersome due to the camera implementation in the game. It's set in a semi-fixed location, similar to the earlier Resident Evil games, but allows you to switch and aim into an over-the-shoulder fashion at will. This can be nauseating when trying to get your bearings on an already claustrophobic ship swinging back and forth. If that was the developer's goal, great job! Gold sticker for you! In addition, Tom can also draw his weapon in a third-person mode, which retains the fixed camera, but also allows you to use your mouse or right analog stick to aim along the X-axis as Tom moves. I found this barely usable, and felt like it wasted more ammo than it was worth. Also, I know the game was released in 2005, but there's no ability to save at will. The game will randomly ask at times if you'd like to save. This typically indicates that a cutscene or a larger fight is about to happen. It poses the problem if you're going into a fight with low health or ammo. I found this particularly frustrating with a cutscene that introduced a new enemy later in the game. With low health and ammo, I had to backtrack several minutes every time I wanted to attempt the fight. Tom lacks an inventory as well, so it's impossible to stockpile extra medkits. The inclusion of a map or a radar would have been helpful for referencing how to navigate around the Eastern Spirit, but understandably adds some anxiety to the situation. Tom's arsenal is your standard fare of pistols, automatic rifles, and shotguns, with a bit of flair thrown in, including a flamethrower a la The Thing, and a spear gun that launches pheromone-laced bolts, which will attract the exocell to whatever you shoot, including other enemies, and my personal favorite, flammable barrels. This is great, as most humanoid enemies will only stay down via a brain-busting headshot or being set on fire. The game's soundtrack is literally one note. I can really only remember one tune standing out at all. Let's just move on. Cold Fear could have been a great game, but some design choices really held it back. While being overshadowed by Resident Evil 4, and with the release of the next generation in the Xbox 360 later that year, Cold Fear is a game that had a tough time keeping its head above water. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me immensely. Were there any other games that looked great, but didn't meet your expectations after playing them? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.